We have been working on getting Moxie to sit, to lie down, and to stand using the food lure, but now we're going to start trying to get away from using a food lure in our lure hand. And once you do that, you're basically transitioning into a hand signal, using a hand signal. So now we're going to start trying to just use an empty hand with Moxie and start transitioning what was our lure hand into our hand signal. So, well, you want to stand first? So I'm going to pull her forward with just an empty hand. I know. Leap of faith, Mama. Yep. As soon as she stood up, she was like, I'm skeptical. I don't think she has food in her hand, but oh, what the hell? What have I got to lose? So now I'm going to, yep. That was my lure into a sit, but now I've converted it into a sweeping upward motion with my hand that looks like this. Yep. And she responds to it just like she did my lure into a sit, and she's being reinforced. She's being rewarded just the same as she used to be. The food comes from the same hand it used to come from, and it comes after she does the behavior. So now I'm going to see if I can get her into a down. This might be a little bit tough. Oh, very skeptical. Okay, all the way. All right, fine. So that might be a bridge too far. Okay, she is just like a tough customer now. Yep. Okay, so I probably yipped a little bit too soon, but basically I was capturing a down. I got really excited. So let me see if I can get her to go into a down again really quick. Yep. All right, and there was no food in that hand. She might have thought there was food in that hand, but there was none. But I am going to reward her with a cereal jackpot because I'm so excited she did that. Search. Getting her up to reset her. Sometimes you don't have to ask her to stand. I didn't want to futz with that. I could just get her to go back behind her and reset by tossing the treat. So now, empty hand, luring down. Yep. She does it just fine, and I follow up with the treat. I'm running a little bit low. One thing to think about is if you are training a small dog, yep, you want to use small treats. If you're training, like, say, a 30 to 50 pound dog, right, you want to think in terms of search, having pea-sized treats. But, you know, you want to scale that down if you have an 8-pound dog or less. And so you want your treats to be teensy tiny because their stomach just has a really limited capacity, but you still want to have a high reinforcement rate. So you want to still be able to reinforce your dog the same number of times with food. The food that you're using has to be very, very small in comparison. So let's see if we can get it down. Yep. What a good boy. Now let's see if we can get a stand. She's not ready for the yep. Oh, I say that. I sell her short. She thinks I'm giving up on her, and then she just stops. Oh, I shouldn't do that, should I? I shouldn't sell you short. Yep. Good dog. All right. Yep. That was perfect. I didn't have anything in my hand, and she's starting to learn. If I just target her empty hand, I still get rewarded after I do the behavior she wants. Yep. Her butt came off the ground a little bit. Yep. All right, now we're going to lure into it. Yep. Down from a sit. Yep. And let me see, make sure we're getting it down from a stand. Search. If I can, I'm going to use this flat hand signal now. Yep. Oh, that was great. So what you eventually want your hand signals to look not so much like a phantom lure, but to look like a flat hand. So for sit, it's a sweeping upwards motion. For down, it's a sweeping downward motion. And for stand, it's a sweeping horizontal motion. And you start out, they're pretty big. You usually try to minimize the size and increase the distance at which the dog will respond to the hand signals. But that's how you start getting your dog to respond to an empty hand signal. Oh, such a good girl. Such a good girl with all those downs.